Alexander Kazes sits in his Bangkok villa, surrounded by Lamborghinis and Porsches worth millions. Outside, the pool glistens. Inside, the servers hum. His darknet empire AlphaBay is making $2 million per day. For 100,000 users worldwide buy drugs, weapons, and stolen identities from him. He's 25 years old and feels invisible, untouchable. But at this very moment, while he sits unsuspecting at his computer, investigators are already on their way. They have his name, his address, and they know everything. But how the hell did they find him? The answer is so absurd that even the FBI agents could barely believe it. And what happened next became the largest coordinated darknet operation in history, with an ending no one saw coming. But before we get there, we need to rewind. Back to the moment when a 19-year-old programmer from Canada decided to build the digital underworld empire of his generation. December 2013. While most teenagers are looking forward to Christmas, Alexander Kazes launches something that will change the world of organized crime forever. He calls it AlphaBay, a name that sounds harmless, almost like a tech startup. But what lies behind this facade is the largest illegal marketplace the internet has ever seen. Kazes is a computer genius, brilliant, ambitious, and ruthless. He's studied the weaknesses of the competition. Silk Road was crushed. Agora went offline. The market was wide open, and he knew exactly what the criminals out there wanted. Anonymity, security, and a system that works. AlphaBay runs on the Tor network, hidden in the darkest corners of the internet. Only accessible with special software. No normal search engines. No police who can just browse by. Different rules apply here. Here, Kazes is king. The design is professional. Almost too professional. It looks like Amazon, except here you're not ordering books, you're ordering heroin, fentanyl, stolen credit card data, fake passports, weapons. Over 40,000 vendors offer their goods. 200,000 customers worldwide click through the categories as if they're shopping at a completely normal online store. Payment is made via Bitcoin. Anonymous, untraceable, perfect. And Kazes? He takes a commission on every deal, between 5 and 5.5%. Sounds like nothing? With $2 million in daily revenue, it adds up. Fast, very fast. Within 3 years, AlphaBay becomes the world's largest darknet market, 10 times bigger than Silk Road ever was. The servers are distributed across Lithuania, the Netherlands, Germany. Kazes himself lives under a false name in Thailand. He's built a life most people can't even dream of. Villas, luxury cars, a hotel, properties in Cyprus and Antigua. His fortune is later estimated at $21 million. But he made a mistake. One single absurd mistake. And this mistake will destroy everything. Somewhere in an FBI office in the United States, investigators stare at a screen. They know AlphaBay exists. They know it's massive. But they have no idea who's behind it. The operator is a phantom, a ghost in the network. Then they stumble upon something. An email address, pimp_alex_91@hotmail.com. It was used during AlphaBay's registration in the early days. A single address that appears somewhere in a forgotten snippet of code. The investigators stare at it. Their hearts begin to race, because this email address isn't anonymous. It contains a first name, Alex, and a number, 91, presumably a birth year, 1991. They dig deeper, and then the shock. This email address is linked to a PayPal account, and this PayPal account is registered under a real name, Alexander Kazes, Canadian citizen, born 1991. The FBI agents can hardly believe it. The man who built the largest criminal empire in the darknet used his real personal email address. And not only that, he used the same passwords for multiple services. A rookie mistake. A mistake every computer science student learns to avoid in their first semester. But for the investigators, it's a gift. They now have a name, a trail, and they follow it with ruthless precision. They discover that Kazes lives in Thailand. In Bangkok, they locate AlphaBay's servers. Lithuania, Netherlands, Germany, an international network. That means they need an international operation. Something big, something that's never been done before. They call it Operation Bayonet. But the investigators have another ace up their sleeve. A move so brilliant that it will later go down in the textbooks of cybercrime fighting. Because they're not just planning to take down AlphaBay. They're planning to lure the entire Darknet scene into a trap. And for that, they need a second marketplace. Hansa. June 20th, 2017. While Alexander Kayses sleeps in his villa in Bangkok, Dutch authorities strike. But not at him. They take over the servers of Hansa Market, the world's second-largest Darknet marketplace. Two German administrators, a 31-year-old from Cologne and a 30-year-old from the Siegen-Wittgenstein district, are arrested and placed in custody. But here's the twist. The police don't shut down Hansa. They take it over. Completely. The site keeps running. The vendors keep selling. The customers keep buying. Nobody notices anything. But in the background, the police modify the source code. They build in a backdoor. Every password a user enters is intercepted. Every transaction is logged. Every message saved. Hansa is now a honeypot, a trap, and the investigators wait for the flies to come buzzing in. 2 weeks later, on July 4th, 2017, the FBI strikes. Together with the DEA, Europol, the Thai police, and the BKA. It's a global, perfectly coordinated operation. AlphaBay servers are seized. The site goes offline. 400,000 users stare at an error message. At the same time, Thai police storm Alexander Kayses' house in Bangkok. It's early morning. Kayses is sitting at his computer. He has no chance to react. They arrest him, search his house, confiscate everything. The Lamborghini Aventador, the Porsche, the villas, the bitcoins, a total of $21 million. And then something happens that completely surprises the investigators. Panic breaks out in the Darknet scene. AlphaBay is gone, disappeared overnight. 40,000 vendors suddenly find themselves without a platform. 400,000 customers desperately search for an alternative. And where do they go? To Hansa. Traffic on Hansa explodes. Within days, the site sees a massive surge in users. Thousands register anew, enter their data, their passwords, their addresses. The police sit in the background and collect everything. Every detail, every trace. It's a masterpiece of investigative work. Rob Wainwright, director of Europol, will later say, "This was one of the largest and most sophisticated investigations in the field of cybercrime in criminal history. For 4 weeks, Hansa runs under police control. The criminals buy and sell, unaware that their every move is being logged." Then, on July 20th, 2017, investigators shut down Hansa too. Simultaneously, they announce the operation publicly. U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions steps before the press. His statement is clear. "You are not safe. You cannot hide. We will find you. We will pursue you. We will hold you accountable." The Darknet scene is shocked. 2 of the largest marketplaces obliterated. Tens of thousands of user data in the hands of authorities. Fear spreads. Who will be arrested next? But the biggest headline is yet to come. July 7th, 2017. 3 days after his arrest, Alexander Kayses sits in a prison cell in Bangkok. He faces extradition to the United States. The charges are overwhelming. Drug trafficking, money laundering, identity fraud, aiding and abetting thousands of crimes worldwide. If convicted, life imprisonment awaits him. And then it happens. Thai authorities find him in the morning, hanged, in his cell, dead. The official account: suicide. Kayses took his own life to avoid extradition, to escape responsibility. Some believe it. Others ask questions. Was it really suicide? Or is there more to it? The truth will never be known. What remains is the legacy of a man who at 25 built a digital empire and lost it through one single absurd mistake. An email address: pimp_alex_91@hotmail.com. That's all it took. Investigators continue their analysis. Over 10,000 customer records are in their hands. In the following months, Hundreds of proceedings are initiated worldwide. Drug dealers are arrested. Arms dealers, fraudsters. Operation Bayonet creates ripples that are still felt today. But the Darknet, it doesn't die. Just days after the takedown, new marketplaces emerge. Dream Market, Trade Route, Wall Street Market. The criminals adapt. They learn. They evolve. And then, in August 2021, something incredible happens. A former AlphaBay administrator, known only as the Snake, resurfaces. He announces, AlphaBay is coming back. Stronger, more secure, with new features designed to prevent the police from ever striking again. Today, at the end of 2024, AlphaBay is once again the world's largest darknet marketplace. Over 30,000 listings, thousands of active vendors. The Hydra was slain, but from its remains, new heads grew. The question remains, did Operation Bayonet really change anything? Or was it just a brief blow against a system that always regenerates? The story of Alexander Kazes is a story of genius and hubris, of a man who thought he was invisible until a single email address brought him down. Operation Bayonet showed the world that even the darkest corners of the internet aren't safe, that investigators are getting smarter, more patient, more dangerous, but it also showed the Darknet doesn't die. It changes, it learns, and it comes back. What do you think? Was Alexander Kazes' death really suicide? Or is there more to it? Write it in the comments. And if you want to know how investigators are tackling the new darknet markets today, then subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because the next story is even crazier. Promise.